Hey, yo, what's good? What's going on, everyone, everywhere? Look, I want to go ahead and thank everyone for their support, their kind words, and everything else that y'all have done for me and the growth of this channel. Okay, you know we try and create a little community and reignite the DC community as a whole. Okay, so please make sure you go ahead and either are subscribed, all right, or go ahead and subscribe. It's free. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, and it helps you out later on with those giveaways. Okay, make sure you turn on that post notification bell as well. Set it to all, especially because I do giveaways that are first come first serve, and a lot of times people who have the notifications turned on, they end up being some of the first comments. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this video, but make sure you like the video if you mess with this kind of content. All right, now in terms of our tactical mods for our single target wise for this might based sorcery DPS, we're gonna blast adapter with the rifle. Okay, you know we all sneak in the weapon taps there while we can. For the head socket, we're gonna do neon venom boost, escalating might in the net socket, berserker for the back socket. Chest is gonna be penetrating strikes. Legs is really your choice. Soul barrage is cool though. You can really use whatever, honestly. Feet, dashing combos, but it's not really required in terms of our single target at least. And hands isn't going to be max damage. Now for our trinkets, it's pretty standard. Tier 3 pet, orbital, supply drop, buff trinket, and swap in your henchman or your backup, whatever you want to call them, as you can. I like to go with the orbital and my henchman at the same time just so I know where the cooldown lies, but just be aware of that. Now in terms of artifacts for our single target, it's going to be transformation card, strategist card, and solar amplifier. Pretty standard for most powers, but that is what we're going to be using here. Now for our might, we're sitting at 145,209. Okay, and our precision is 56,145. Okay, we're at a nice comfortable 373 CR. Now in terms of our allies, House of Legends bot, Death Metal Batman for the cloak and snare supportability, and the Batman Who Laughs for the luck of the draw supportability. Okay, now if you are just facing more than just the boss, I would recommend that you go ahead and put in Cyborg. And most people have Cyborg leveled up. If you do, well, if you don't, why don't you definitely go ahead and level him up? And if you do, throw him in, especially when the boss goes ahead and summons all those ads or extra little tentacles or whatever the case may be. Okay, it's just really great for those kind of scenarios. If it's just the boss and the boss alone, definitely use House of Legend bot. He does some of the most pure single target damage in the game currently right now. Now in terms of our spec, I like to use the rifle for all my might based powers just because the weapon tap there, as you see, the little grenade launcher is very easy to get the extra damage in. It hits AOE and is better than like the one-handed hit or the dual wield quick tap and stuff like that. It hits AOE and it's just really nice. Okay, now if you have extra skill points, especially over the 500 mark, then I would say you can go ahead and spec out the rifle just to go ahead and get this increased weapon attack damage by going to rifle mastery right there. Now you don't need any of the other weapons, but you can go ahead and get the weapon not weapon mastery, excuse me y'all, the weapon proficiency for each weapon if you're trying to get those styles. Okay, now in terms of your movement, I always recommend that you go speed, super speed, speed force, whatever, for the most possible damage when it comes to DPS. Okay, definitely get your speed force right there. And tornado pool is the only thing you're gonna need out of here if you're low on skill points. Now if you got a little bit more skill points, especially over that 500 mark, like I said, definitely go ahead and get your breakout mastery and all your knockback resistances and all that good stuff there. Okay, now for iconic powers, you don't need all these yet again. I would say just go ahead and neon venom boost, heat vision, and super strength if you're over the 500 skill point again. Now in terms of stat powers, or stat points I should say, our focus is going to be super powered over here for the extra 10% might, the power generation, and the overall power right there. You go ahead and spec into your critical attack chance, then damage, in this order. Then drop everything in might and power. If you have anything left over, I like to evenly split between precision and health. Excuse me, y'all, I'm having trouble talking here. But health, one for survivability, and if a buff troll does come in the group, it is amazing to have because it gives you more might based off your health. And precision, because we're doing weapon taps, okay? Now in terms of our loadout here, for a single target we have Amplified Heat Vision, Tornado Pool, Condemn, Final Ruin, our Summon Fury Pet, and Neo Venom Boost. Now I would say we're not going to use Offering just because Offering doesn't do as much damage as any of these other moves, and based on this, just the Summon Fury without any power at all does more damage than the Robot Sidekick does with full power and all that other stuff, okay? So it's just good all around. And if other things, or if controller or whoever is able to give the Fury power, then it just does a little bit more damage. So it's good like that. So let me go ahead and show you the rotation of the single target loadout. The rotation is pretty simple, pretty standard. Let me go over here because he's kind of doing his own thing there. Pretty standard with all my loadouts. I like to keep them left to right. Now once you hit Condemn, you're going to go through another left to right and skipping the Condemn, so it's circle for me, the third slot right there. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Hit Heat Vision. After Heat Vision goes off, hit Tornado Pool, hit Condemn, Final Ruin, go back to Heat Vision, Tornado Pool, then we're going to Final Ruin and skip Condemn because it's still on the cooldown, okay? And just go rinse and repeat. Now, as you all know, I'm not going to hit the full might of what I normally would hit in testing this stuff, but I normally get around that 115 mark and even up to 120, funny enough, in that precision kind of range of damage when it comes to this loadout right here, especially if everything's critting. What is it? The strategist card dot is going off. Everything is critting as it should be. It's just real nice, real high damage. Now this is definitely more single target damage just because the Tornado Pool and Condemn both are single target moves, as well as Final Ruin. Okay, the only AOE you're really getting here is your Fury and your Heat Vision once it explodes and does the burning effect to all the enemies in the surrounding area, okay? So definitely if you have ads going up in the boss fights, definitely have, you know, your pets helping you out, your ally helping you out, as well as an orbital and henchman. Now that's about what I got right there. You kind of saw went over 100k there, so that's kind of good, but definitely have gotten in the 115 to 120 when everything is, or pretty much everything is critting. All right. Now in terms of our AOE, I'm going to test right here on the 3 target, but you can use the same principles on the 5 target. Only thing that's going to happen is you get less per damage hit, and overall ability goes up in damage. But I'm going to also tell you the damage ranges in my testing that I have seen and gotten from this. As you see, the loadout at the bottom, but let's go ahead and get these tactical monsters pretty much all the same. All right, no changes at all. Now the same tactical mods. The only thing that's really going to change here is our artifacts. We're going to have the transformation and strategy card still, but we're going to throw in the Quizlet because we're going to have that extra pet damage as well as the Neo Venom going off. That's no more when I like to hit my Neo Venom boost, especially if a nice EOG spamming healer is in the group, or even a tank. Now as you see, I'm a little bit lower on the might. I gotta figure out why, because I'm not quite sure, but as you see, I'm only 142,754 might, and precision is 58,072. So I'm a little bit higher precision. That's a little interesting. I wonder why that is. Now, if you don't know, definitely just go straight might with all your metagenes and augments, okay? Allies, exact same, but we're definitely going to have Cyborg in that combat slot. and even the specs are the exact same. Oop, apologies. Rifle, as you see. Super speed. Now super speed though, we're going to slightly change our spec here. We're going to get Vortex Trap and Whirling Dervish, okay? And then for iconic powers, definitely still go with the Neo Venom boost. And super strength if you have the extra skill points to waste, okay? Now stat points are going to be the exact same, no change there. And our loadout is going to be Soulstorm, which if you didn't know, Soulstorm does more damage, like per hit and everything like that, the less enemies. Once you start getting more enemies, it splits pretty bad. As opposed to Soul Barrage, which does more damage as overall ability and per hit, the more enemies you have. Okay. Whirling Dervish and Vortex Trap. And definitely have it in this order because Whirling Dervish is easier to get out of when you just press the, for me, it's my melee is square. So especially with that foot socket mod that we have the dashing combos, easier to get out Whirling Dervish in a quick manner as opposed to Vortex Trap. The worry to get out of Vortex Trap quick is to jump cancel it. But if you want the extra damage when you press your melee ability to get the dashing combo extra hit in there, you have to wait, I think it's about 4 seconds, and then hit that. Summon Fury and Neo Venom pretty much gonna stay in the loadouts. But let me go ahead and show you some damage and the rotation. It's left to right yet again. About 3 seconds on a Whirling Dervish. You're gonna get more damage out of Tornado Trap, or Vortex Trap, I mean. My apologies, y'all. Vortex Trap does more damage per hit and overall damage because more damage per hit. Then Whirling Dervish one does just a little bit easier to get out of inherently. Now this is about, I have the picture. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I can't seem to find it, but just for the sake of video, what I can remember, as you see, hit over 200 right there. But when, you know, the strategy card's going and critting nicely and everything like that, I definitely hit in the 125,000 per second range. Around here, that was the highest. I think it was like 125,000, like 473 or something like that. It was something crazy. I was very shocked to actually see that because that was insane amount of damage for me. Hit the 3 targets here with the sorcery power. All right, now it comes to the 5 target. I definitely hit a bit harder in that 240,000 around in that range. Oh, my pets are still attacking. But that's about the best loadouts I can find and make. Now these are both loadouts I have made out of my own creation. Like I said before, I've taken people's loadouts in game, taken the ones on YouTube, test them all against this loadout and the single target loadout as well. And my loadouts have came out on top through my testing. Please definitely try them for yourself. See how they fare for you. And when I'm in content, no one really beats me besides like Gadget's Precision or something like that. You know, something ludicrous and crazy where they super sweaty. But that's about all I got for this video. Please make sure you subscribe, put that notification bell on, set it to all, like the video, share the video. My goodness, I can't speak, y'all. Stay tuned in for this Saturday. We will be having a style contest for original styles only, so no iconics like Batman, Superman, Naruto, or anything like that. Okay? Winner will get first place winner will get 100 million in DCUO cash. So stay tuned for that. There's also second and third place. The comments section decide who wins. So it's not going to be me. You got to impress your peers, pretty much. But look, without further ado, y'all take it easy. Y'all be safe. Like the video. Share it out, especially if you know this is one of the best loadouts on YouTube right now, currently. And peace and shalom, y'all.